What's on your mind,
I,
sir?
I just think of this whole Doge and everything government approach. Maybe we're my wife and I are shopping for a house, and this is not ingenious or unique to me. But if you're looking at a house, there seems like there's two approaches with the government here. One side's looking at this house going, it's falling apart. It's like a hoarder's living in here. We need to go in and just gut this thing and remodel it from the studs up. And the other side's going, oh, don't touch that, don't touch that, don't touch that. It just needs a little touch up. And that's the difference in approach, it seems to me. And the public, of course, will be the ones who decide which way things go. So I just wonder what you think about that. And the Democrats, Dan, you keep saying, and I understand what you're saying, that people are okay with it until it touches them, right? So, Wisconsin farmers or Medicare or so on. But do you think that people's perspective of government as a whole is it needs to be totally gutted and rebuilt, or it's pretty good, just needs a little touch up?
Greg, great question. And I think for those who haven't seen it, because I tweeted it right before we came on, Axios did a focus group of voters from Arizona who voted for Biden in 20 and Trump in 24. And they were unanimous in their support of Doge and said, keep going. I think, and I've said this politically, I think people are very supportive of what Elon Musk is doing. And every time he puts an example up, he's not dumb. Trump is not dumb, obviously. They are examples for which the average person says it's common sense to get rid of that. I think, to use your analogy, of a house, if you gut the house, you tend to move out of the house, right? It is no longer operational. What they're the challenge with a renovation, when the house has to keep functioning, you're living in it, it has to keep providing, the roof and the kitchen has to keep working, so to speak, is how do you do this? And I think that is the question. Is it scalpel, or is it just a, sledgehammer? And if it's a sledgehammer and things fall through the cracks and you start saying, wait a second, that service, that function that I have relied on and didn't even really associate with government, I just took it for granted, is harming my life, then people will get upset. But I think right now, frankly, a lot of this is kind of very, very small stuff. But nevertheless, small is better than nothing. So, they're going to keep being supported. I'm sure if a poll comes out, 80% will support, what they're doing for now.
Greg, when Reince previous got elected chairman of the RNC, I went to go work for him, and we were $25+ million in debt. And we literally looked through the budget, and we had like legacy newspapers, the Washington Post, the New York Times, not to mention, okay. And we just started saying this, we can do this better and cheap. I mean, some of the stuff you could actually obviously now get online. We went through the budget literally line by line and cut out stuff. And the idea was, and even when we traveled, Reince used to play a game with a guy named Ron Weiser on like who could travel to wherever cheaper than the other guy. Like, I got 5 airline miles, we got a free breakfast at the Hilton, and we ate dinner by, and there was a respect for donors' money. The idea was, you're giving us money, we want to show you that we're using it to advance the party, whatever. And I think obviously that's the political version of this, but I look at it the same way, to your point about the government. Taxes, I get it. I love this country. I'm willing to pay for it and all of the things that we enjoy. I've been blessed, so I want to help. Like, there's certain aspects of living in a country like this that we have to pay for, and that's part of it. But I don't want to be disrespected. I don't want that money thrown away, and I don't care if it's $20 or $20 million. And so the effort that the Doge team is leading, to me, is such a breath of fresh air. And I get that might not solve our deficit, but it's a mentality. And the mentality is it's like when I hire an intern, if you can't do the small things well, why would I ever trust you with the big things? And so making the copies, getting them on time, putting them in the right place, making sure there aren't smudges, shows that a level of detail and professionalism. And these guys going through the budget and the government in that same way, kind of to your description, shows that they care. And I think for a lot of people, maybe this won't, it's not going to solve debt or the deficit. But it's a good start and a good mentality and a breath of fresh air that we welcome, I think. And to me, the best part about this, it's not partisan. Being smart, being pragmatic, common sense isn't a Republican or Democratic thing. It just shows common sense.
Greg,
And to
thank you for
Sean's
joining.
point,
Great question. Thank you.
every
Sorry, Dan, go ahead.
company and I was going to say, to Sean's point, every family has had to do this at some point because everyone experiences good times and not good times. And every company or nonprofit has to do this. Go through your budget and make some tough choices. And I think a lot of people think the federal government has never really had to do that in years.